artist, founder, president of the ONYXCON Foundation.
The whole city got friends, heard he got three. That other nigga got a hip and shouted, he not out.
All right. That's all I'm gonna give you because I ain't trying to get hit with no copyright. You know what I'm saying? I'll let it be mumbling in the background, but that's it. What's up, y'all? Peace up. A-Town Town. It's the third, straight from the Metro ATL area. It couldn't have been better. The T.I. was on when I needed that. It couldn't have been better. Shout out to T.I. Shout out to all the ATL legends, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of them. We are that city. We are that town. We are that metro area. Yes, we are. All right, I got all my settings where I want them and everything. Now we can really build. So, you know, y'all, I wanted to tell y'all I got some new content I just dropped. I literally made this up today based on a live I did yesterday. I'm gonna start doing this more too, because I be saying so much in my lives that I can chop those things up and have content for weeks if I wanted to. I just sometimes don't have the time to edit like that, but today I had a little time. I said, I'm gonna edit this thing down to the main point that I made on this one live yesterday where I was talking about Ironheart, okay? The Marvel show that is on Disney Plus, based on the superhero in the comic books, based on the one you know from Wakanda Forever, if you saw that, of course. And I mean, I made the point, and I want y'all to just watch the 3-minute video, so I'm not gonna give away my ultimate point. I'm just gonna say, the groundwork was already laid in the first Black Panther film. What the entire show could have been about, and with executive producer, Brother Kugler, what I always keep telling people though, what I know about being in the film business, executive producer does not mean you write it. It just means you get the money together, you get the staff together, you put the elements together that are gonna be the key heads of every house, of every department in the production with your blessing to get it done. You know, you visit the set, you come and you check things out. If it looks cool for you, if it works for you, you know, you got your name on it, so you don't want no mess going out there, but the just never know what's going to win and what's not. And a lot of, at that level of corporate creative, you know, stuff going on. And mind you, I mean, with the fact, when you look at the timeline, Sinners came out or just ended its run in theaters just a few months ago. It's about to be on streaming. He was more than likely filming Sinners when that was approved. So when you think about the time, and I'm telling y'all from experience, because like I say again, I'm in the film business. I'm not just chitter chattering, and I always like to say, this ain't the barbershop beauty shop talk over here. This is the real talk. This is the inside the situation talk. This is on set from experience talk. And I know with the timelines of film and TVs, if you're an executive producer of a show, okay, yeah, that's a show. I got that going on. That's popping. That's going to be cool for us if that's a success. But you ain't got time to manage that and be doing a production if you're the producer and director of it. So I guarantee you during the time they were shooting Ironheart, because actually that shot in Atlanta, yeah, that film did it just like everything does. I tell people all the time, stop playing. You better know it. Yeah, it's based in Chicago, but that was made right here. So now they did probably do B-roll shots to give you a stat, like, you know, the drone shots of Chicago or any block shots that show street signs and things to make people up there feel like, oh man, that's home. Yeah, home in Atlanta. Like, yeah, that is filmed here. I'm telling you, I know people who are on the show. It's one of the only that I didn't get on, because I've been on almost every Marvel production that was ever shot in Atlanta, straight up. Now, I can proudly say 90 to 80%. I ain't gonna drop it no lower than that, because I know it's true. I did it. There was an era when everything that came out, I got on it, and I was happy to be there. But it's been a different industry now. There's a lot going on, and it's not what it used to be. It's not the amount of work that it used to be. It's a real struggle for everybody. It ain't just with every other category of work in this crazy situation we're dealing with politically and otherwise. It is a nightmare in general for a lot of folk. So film is no different. And whatever hits the average consumer hits film 10 times as hard because of the amount of budget and the amount of people who are on a set and all the different departments and everything. So all that said, when I tell you this thing with the character Riri Williams and Ironheart, I hate that it's like the negative side of it is what's taking over, where people just can't give their opinion without being nasty. Like, I see these little lame ass thumbnails with folk just they just doing the most. Like, I saw one where some fool was shooting a bird at the character. Like, Man, calm your sissy ass down, man. You ain't no fucking real man. Like, seriously, straight up. Straight the hell up. I don't even know whose channel it is, but if you know who you are, I said what I goddamn said. It's some bitch shit to me. It's like, grow the hell up. Grow the hell up. You don't know this woman. It's a character. You don't like the show? Speak on that. Keep your finger down before somebody break it and shove it down your throat. Just chill out. Just chill out. It ain't that deep. You don't like the show? Speak on that. I didn't like the show. You understand? I didn't like the show, but I respect the actors. I respect the people feeding their families. I respect the people who went to work every damn day to make that show possible, whether they like the show or not. You can be, trust me, I've been on shows, I ain't like the show, I ain't like the movie. Hey man, this is work. I got a job. I'm grateful for the opportunity. You know, that's grown folk shit. Not this, you know, there's a lot of this immature ratchet culture stuff has got to stop. And older folk like myself, we gonna start saying something, man. Cause we tired of what the result is. It's not healthy to allow people to act this way, to be so reckless. Like, no. You gonna chill out and show some order. It's the problem, there's no order no more. Everybody just be doing whatever. Like I say, you can disagree. You can not like something, but if you can't speak on it intelligently without, you know, making a thumbnail just for shock value, thinking you look cool, you look like a freaking dork. This idiot is like, he's like, on the thumbnail I saw, okay, if this is the thumbnail, the whole, like this wide, the guy's like this big, the character is this big in the thumbnail, and he's like this big. It really speaks of how pathetic he doesn't even realize he is to have made himself this small in the juxtaposition of what you're trying to say visually. See, I'm a visual artist too. I'm a graphic designer. So why, if you're so serious about it, you got yourself this tiny and you shooting your little bird like, yeah, F this show. Yeah, that's about how big your F this show is. Like, it's pathetic. It's pathetic that people are acting like that over a show. It's like, look, if you don't like it, say that. I said that. I didn't like the show. But I don't dislike the actors. I damn sure don't dislike the production as a whole, because I know too many people who own it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I respect what they did as work, but I just didn't like the concept with the direction they took story-wise. Simple and plain. Yeah. We just need folk to get back to being grown, man. I'm tired of the goofiness. It's too much of it. And it's widespread. Very widespread. Most folks just do this kind of stuff daily, and they don't even think nothing. They don't even think twice about it. They just act like this all the time, and it just ain't their turn yet. They ain't got caught up in a situation from being like that. But man, oh man, I be thinking to myself, they must not have nobody in their life that's older than them. Like, everybody in their existence is a bunch of kids with kid-style mentality about how to be in life. You better get you some elders around you. Go. It would behoove you to find some elders to speak to, because I see this stuff and it's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. But, for the few people that I have seen do reviews that were much like mine, where, yeah, they were passionate about their opinions, but they made it clear. They like, yo, I wanted to like this, and it wasn't a man. I'm not gonna waste time in my life watching something that I just absolutely hate. And it wasn't as deep as hate. Hate is a heavy word. Like, but you hear people say that all the time. I hate it. You don't even know what hate is, fool. You don't know what hate is. But no, they talk all that kind of stuff. But you look at the results of what this has done in just a matter of days. They're saying, it's plummeting. But ironically, because of the hype, it makes people want to watch it too. It's at the same time still #1 on Disney. So good win for them for that. I mean, if nothing else, it's helping the show get views, even if people don't like what they see when they finally give it a chance. And that happens. That's creative process. That's putting your work out into the world as any kind of artist. And you're not gonna always be appreciated for what you contributed as an artist. It's just not gonna always be seen the way you wanted people to see it. I even saw some statement that the main actress, she gave a public statement and spoke to what is the trending words about the show, and people talking about their A lot of people feel there's an agenda at stake in pushing LGBTQ because so many characters are that on the show. And she didn't agree with that. And she felt like, no, there isn't. Well, I appreciate what she's doing by saying, no, it's not an agenda, but there's no denying when you watch the show how that is in the characters that you see. And there's not enough character development for you to embrace these characters, no matter whether you agree with or feel like an alignment to or know anybody of those perspectives. As an artist, I can't help but know people of all kind of perspectives. It's just, the arts are where a lot of creative folks of various sexual orientations are. And I've always, I'd say especially since college, not so much up to high school, but in college forward, I had to deal with any and everybody. And I gained a general level of live and let live, respect, and always show respect and get respect with anybody who's in the room. I don't care what you do in the club. What I don't like is the selling of sexual orientation. I don't like that it's being sold. Because I know too many people, particularly ladies in my life who are, I know bisexual women who are not, like anything you've ever seen on some show. You know what I mean? And I don't like that they only get this one lane for how they get depicted a lot of times, or almost 2 lanes. And that's it. And then I see the same thing happen with whoever it is, whatever the quote unquote gender, Now, I am old school about my personal perspective on it. I look at it like a man is a man, is a woman is a woman. Whatever's going on in your mind mentally, and you, at whatever point of life you make a personal choice to be of a certain orientation, I feel like that's a mental health choice. And as long as you're healthy and whoever you choose to live that lifestyle with is healthy and how y'all go about that, that's y'all business. I don't care. Live your life. I'm all for you living your life and being happy. I don't care about who. I just want everybody to be happy. Whatever making you happy. As long as you ain't hurting nobody else, man, I don't give a damn. As long as you ain't pushing nothing on nobody else, as long as you ain't hurting nobody else, I don't give a damn. Do you. Do you. But when it comes to shows, I will say these have influence. So if you got a show and you're gearing it towards a certain demographic, I want it to be very clear. If you're making it clear, hey, this ain't for kids, no way. This is for, folks of an age where they can make a decision about their life and how they're gonna live for the rest of their life. Okay, then I don't see it as an agenda. But if I feel like you're purposefully trying to garner an audience that is super young all the way up to older, well, now there could be an agenda because that's formative years. Yes, y'all. As we proceed, can't say that no more. Can't. Man, I swear that damn Puffy, he messed his own self up with his craziness and messed up so much good music. I swear. I'm gonna say no phrases that man came up with. Hell no. Anyway, so yeah, y'all, it's just, I feel like, how do you define when something has an agenda? I feel like first and foremost, the word agenda has become so widely used in social media that it's like any other word that starts becoming a hashtag, a catchphrase. People give it one meaning when the word still has multiple meanings. Like, it's not automatically functional or dysfunctional to use the word. Like, you can have a positive agenda for something, right? I tell y'all all day over here, we do edutainment, education and entertainment. Edutainment. The first time I ever heard the and kept saying it ever since was KRS-One, the legendary hip-hop legend MC who said it and made it very popular. Edutainment, that's what we do here. And so if anyone wants to say, oh man, they pushing edutainment, you're like, damn right. And it's a progressive, positive, influential, hopefully impactful on your mind if you're willing to let it in, agenda of helping you to be a better person. So no, there's every creative, every artist has a reason to share their expression, whatever level of expression and whatever the the desire of putting out that art to the world for it to be seen, heard, smelled, touched, tasted. Because the arts appeal to the senses. That's the definition of art. That's the ONYXCON gospel. Art is any and every creative expression that appeals to, ignites, stimulates the senses, including your sixth sense, your third eye wide the hell open if you really are woke, true woke, not some Republican Party revamped use of the word. I mean the original black folks surviving in, through, and all around oppression and still standing tall and overcoming all the obstacles woke. You can leave now if you're on some maggot bullshit. This is your time to exit because you're not gonna like it here. It's not gonna be comfortable. You're gonna need medical assistance because the stuff you'll hear here you've never heard before, and you might have a heart attack because too much truth don't do the body well for idiots. It just don't. So, you know, what is an agenda in the first place? Like I say, it's a set, intentional goal that is preset. You had a preset desired outcome, and you are implementing initiatives, strategies, every other fancy word to make it to that goal. So if someone has a goal of prosperity for artists and awareness of living your best art life, then damn right ONYXCON has a positive art life agenda. Now, if somebody else has an agenda, like I say, the word agenda is not negative in and of itself. It's what the hell what is your agenda makes it negative or not. If your intention is to impose a vantage point on how to live your life that is based in something that should only be a decision in the first place when you are of a certain mind. Man, what the hell's going on there? I just saw two Lambos together coming out of it. Is there a car club show? I need to be going the opposite way so I can go see the show. That was pretty funky fresh. But anyway, you know, if you want to see, if you're pushing something that deals with a person's sexual orientation, okay, or expression of that sexual orientation, which is, there's a big debate, all right? You know, what makes masculine masculine? What makes feminine feminine? Is it colors? No. Don't matter. I can have on nothing but pink right now. I promise you I'm the straightest thing in the room. I promise you. And I don't care if I approve of if you think I am or not. It don't damn matter. I know what I do with my body and with my mind and who I lay with. I know who the in my life. I don't have to prove that to no living turd online with suspicions, expectation, wannabe opinions. But who gives a hell damn? Who cares, man? You were irrelevant yesterday. Your breathing is irrelevant now. You don't exist. You know, it won't exist, y'all. So it's sad when I see people that, like I say, you're not even of age, and already the world, certain people do have some other agendas where they're trying to impress upon you that being a certain way is okay. Nobody ever said it wasn't okay if that works for you, but there's a reason why it even exists. And I know too much about people's development. I know too much about the real stuff that never gets said when people start talking about this whole concept of a show having LGBTQ characters. First and foremost, it's a character. An actor took a role. A lot of times, and I personally as an actor, because I'm an actor, I don't agree with the idea, personally, of heterosexual actors who say they are, who live that life off screen, taking roles made for and about people living that reality. I say, give it to, hey, yo, the role calls for what? We need a what? Okay, then go get that. Exactly. You don't have to be everything the character is. It's still a character. But if that part is a part that's integral to the person, And there's a whole bunch of different cultural expressions and experiences that have developed around that lifestyle and that orientation, that mindset, any way you want to put it. Then let those people have their roles. Straight up. Just let them do them. I've been on sets where that was the case, and I was respectful of that. I was cool with that. Because that's your lane, I'm in my lane. We all are depicting a story, and we all make it more believable because of our unique, real life understanding and experiences of what we are trying to play. Like, I don't have to be, this is a stretch when I'm specifically talking about, the orientation thing. But if you want to get into, because they're depicted, again, sexual activity is not the only way these people are get portrayed when they show up on camera. There's different ways and certain trends, and even that, I got a problem with some of that because it becomes the same thing that happened in my city of Atlanta, where people started saying because there were so many people in the city that came here to live that lifestyle, they start pushing that on everybody. Like, that's everybody in Atlanta. You know how they are in Atlanta. That's how the men are in Atlanta. That's how the women are in Atlanta. Whoa the fuck up, fool. You don't know shit about my city. Stop talking about Atlanta. Get the hell up out of here with that bullshit, man. No, hell no. Don't you do it. Not on my clock. No, baby. No, hell no. You can't. You cannot do that. It's more ridiculous than I can remember when I was a kid, because it was a city that I experienced, they did that too. And I know why. I've never been there, but I know why that perception got started. But they said that about San Francisco. Oh, San Francisco, the Bay Area. Man, tell that to everybody who is on some like the hip hop. And I'm not saying people in hip hop can't be. Orientation is orientation. You can be whatever you want to be. And we know there's a whole bunch of down low stuff going on and all that. But I'm saying for straight dudes who ain't about that life, say that that's what your city is all about to some cats at a 49ers game, and they done came from where E40 and the Click and all them kind of cats come from. In Oakland and whatnot, right across the bridge and all that. I ain't never been to Oakland and all that. I ain't never been to that part of California. But I know enough about it. I know people from it. It's just stupid is what it is. It's quite insulting. It's very narrow. And it's disrespectful of everybody involved. It's disrespectful to LGBTQ. Because it's like you're pretending that this is what, in some cases, you're placing, for those who, I'm not making any, I'm not going to pander to the psychosis of anybody who means people harm because of their orientation. I don't mean nobody, no harm for your orientation. Like I say again, do you. But I'm aware of the psychology of those who do harm to somebody because of that. And a lot of those people's biggest fear is that there's, when they speak of these agendas and stuff, that it's a complete takeover. That they're making everybody turn this way and everybody want to be this one sex reality or multi-sex and all that, whatever. This is the thought that goes through folks' heads, right? Now, I will say this. Certain corporate entities, yeah, it's to their advantage. If at the point where you got a market of a group of people, you used to have 10 people, and let's say they all, for whatever cultural reason, like to buy a certain type of product, and they're all doing it because it's part of the culture. Once something becomes cultural, and forget, maybe y'all ain't been here long enough. Y'all done forgot the formula of how cultures get developed. Let me give you that ONYXCON gospel again. All right? You start with a decision. Human beings, all living things, all living creatures that have the ability to perceive and make decisions. Okay? You make a choice. Based on the choice and the outcome of the choice, you might create a habit of doing that same thing. After you have a habit, that habit, if there's a bunch of y'all that are in the like space, seeing each other do that and liking the result as a group, we create a habit that becomes tradition. This is what we do. We do this. We all do that. On this time of the year, we're going to all go buy that thing because we got to have that for the so-and-so party, or we got to wear this, or we got to make sure we say this, and at that time, we're going to all do this. All right? That's called traditions. Then traditions become what? Part of an entire culture. Once it becomes culture, oh my gosh, it's so hard to break. If it was started from a dysfunctional habit, that's to always say, what are your habits? What are your decisions? Are they functional or dysfunctional? If you're starting with something that came out of dysfunction, if it started from abuse, if it started from something twisted, if it started from something that was backwards from day one, you gotta deal with that first. Then if you still choose to, because of circumstances, not even choose, maybe that is just what it is, because of the circumstances, you are what you are what you do what you do. As long as you can acknowledge that you did this thing, this whole thing starts from some dysfunctional behavior. Then you can protect the next generation from dysfunction, and for the few who may still slip through the crack, at least you don't have an entire population of people pondering this to be their reality because they see it as being so common. So many people got hurt the same way. So many people got used and abused and treated weird the same way. So now we all gonna be on this together. See, there's where I get hardcore about it. And I ain't gonna never stop talking from that perspective, because I think I owe it to my friends who are living that lifestyle, who've told me in confidence why they know they feel they became who they wanted to be after they made that choice for various reasons. And then, like I say, sometimes choice ain't even the best word. The circumstance made them what they became, but they are aware of the circumstances being circumstances, and they don't deny that. They don't talk that nature shit. They say nurture, circumstances, they get into the bottom line of it. So if you want to get healthy, we can talk. But if you want to stay at pretending that the things I'm alluding to don't exist, then you're more than likely part of the goddamn problem. Because everybody I know who's healthy about it, they know why, and they are mad about it, but they are still happy to be who they are because they found love in whatever way they needed to. And that right there is the universal I can always respect. If it's healthy, and like I say again, you ain't hurt nobody else, and you are not pushing an agenda. The agenda comes from you're hurt, you're angry, you haven't done the work psychologically. You haven't had the therapy. So what do they say is the phrase? Hurt people hurt people. So there goes why some people who've only experienced the hurt people hurting people don't trust folks from these different perspectives. And they always think every time they see it, oh man, yes. Oh yeah. We're gonna keep it deep. We're gonna keep it deep around here, y'all. We don't do shadow. Oh, hold on, but that gum door ain't right. Close that thing. Yeah. Hold tight. It's real life, y'all. It's real life. But I know for a fact, right? There's plenty of people who understand exactly where I'm coming from, because I used to get so many compliments when we were doing the convention. They'll be like, man, good for you, bro. I really appreciate you, looking out for the kids and mature content, making it like, yo, we can do stuff for adults. Just be responsible about it. And, make sure there's some kind of boundary for how they get in a hole of stuff so they can't see it. And I was like, yeah, man, like somebody got to do it. Like I've been to cons where don't nobody care, and it's just all out and all over the place. And we're in a society and a history of so much hypocrisy and bullshit where people can make something like the argument has been made for years that women and the depiction of women in comic books generally stays within a certain, it's changing. It's definitely changed, and that's a good thing. But it's not changed enough that it's still not a normal stereotype of the bodacious, big boobie, big breast, big butt, super tiny waist. Like the easiest way I can say it is Jessica Rabbit style woman. If you ever saw Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, okay, classic film. Which I need to see that again. I haven't seen that in forever. I need to watch that again. I literally have not seen that since I was young. I need to go back and check that out. I need to revive. I need to do another. I mean, maybe I'll do a review, like a resurrection of this movie review. You know what I mean? Go old school and talk about that at some point. But anyway, the way she looked as a cartoon character is how some folks are trying to look in real life, which is why we have BBL culture and all these other breast implants and everything, and all the fake hair and lipstick and that. And then I also add the fact that a lot of folks don't know this, but it's a fact. It's nothing. It's funny to me how people don't know things and then they get offended when you say things out loud. Like, wait a minute, where you get that from? Because it's the goddamn truth, motherfucker. Calm down. Like, do you not know that the big ass lashes that women are wearing nowadays, that all came from transvestite culture, from cross dressing? That's something men created. Hell, even heels themselves was something that French men created. Okay, that look started with men's dress. Oh boy, those searching French. I like to always make it clear. Hey, shout out to all my French folk who never wore no goddamn heel and no punk, no fan, no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Did y'all hear me? Y'all heard me. That's a Martin joke. If you don't know your jokes, you can't even keep up with this level of intelligence and humor, y'all. Just don't even try. If you're offended, you just weaken the draws because you don't know no history. I'm saying it's true. Know it, look it up. Don't trust me. Heels started with men in aristocracy. Those are the ones. It wasn't the everyday dude out in no damn field prancing around in no stockings and no damn heels. No, it was the ones at the top. Okay, the rich that had time to explore their sexuality. Anyway, I'm just saying, that's where all that come from, man. If you know the truth, you ain't weirded out by whatever the results are. You just face it for what it is, but you don't get caught up in the sauce either if it ain't got nothing to do with you. And so, basically, like I say, all these women that chase that ideal, and then dudes that chase that ideal, that certain looking and stuff, and it becomes a thing. I was raised into this. So I already know why I like certain looks on a woman and why certain things are sexy to me or other things not as much and all that. It is what it is, man. Hey. But it's the early impressions that last a lifetime. And that's what I'm ultimately saying about how if you want to change some of these things, the first time a young boy, a little girl sees a woman that, first and foremost, sees a woman who's naturally has big breasts or naturally has a big butt and doesn't automatically, she got a BBL because they done heard adults talking, or she got a boob, and the woman's offended because she's constantly having to tell adults that's not true. And then now she looks over and sees some kids saying it to her because they overhear everything and repeat what they hear and say, baby, no, I'm natural. And that shit, I'm not saying a woman need to explain herself to no child, but I'm just giving a scenario to make a point. Can you imagine? Like, it's sad that, like, the kids only get one, they start early getting this one-trackness that they'll be suffering with for the rest of their life, where they grow into adults to do it. They whole life, everything's, if I see that, that means this. Not necessarily, you idiots. No. Damn it. Think outside of 2 brain cells and use the rest of your freaking cranium. Like, no. Nothing is that simple. Nothing. I mean, nothing. There's always, even when you could use deductive reasoning and say that, yes, 90% of this is definitely this. Now, what are the reasons why that is that? That's what you, first of all, better always deal with anything. The reasons. Then, if there's 90, that means there's 10 that ain't. And why is that? For anything. You can think I'm not even talking about nothing specifically right now when I make this point. I'm saying for anything. There's no deductive reasoning no more. People are just emotional freaking waterheads. They react to everything. And everything's a reasoning, reacting, anger, or act like something annoys you. Like I said at the beginning of this broadcast about how people have reacted to this Ironheart show. Instead of breaking down why, if you can agree that the show is not the greatest Marvel show, why? And be specific and have something worth saying when you say it. If you're going to come for the LGBTQ element of the show, I'm going to be specific. My reason for not wanting to see it the way it is portrayed is, first of all, it's not realistic. It's not realistic. I get that it's a show. I get that I make shows. I write this, okay? I write stuff that's sci-fi fantasy. But I'm not anybody else but me. And my way of writing these things is very different. I purposely want to include and showcase what doesn't often get seen. In addition to what you're used to, because what you're used to, you're only used to because there are, like I said earlier, if 90% of people are on the bandwagon, then yeah, I'm going to have folk that look like that in the story if that's what the story is about. But then I'm also include that 10%. Oh, you're going to have to deal with that possibility of what you never considered. I say, damn, oh shit. Like I literally had to, wow, I had to tell a friend recently. And in their innocence, they did not know. And they were fiery about it a little bit. They said they did not enjoy the film Sinners. I said, okay. I teased them a little bit about that, like, how you gonna be the only person in the world that didn't like Sinners? Not as if I don't know there's other people that didn't like the movie. Or didn't want to even see the movie because they're on some religious stuff and all that. But that was not a problem with this friend. But they stated that, like, they used an example. They was like, why is it in all this, and at that time in history, sharecropping time in history in America, okay, all of what the film was showcasing with Jim Crow laws and all that stuff, post-slavery, but new form of slavery with Jim Crow laws and sharecropping culture, same, new form of slavery. Why was it the only Asian folk in the town, they had all of those resources that they needed for the party, and they got all that stuff done in one day? And how the hell, you mean this Asian woman, the Chinese lady, she sound as country as all the black folk. They was all talking this. Why were they talking? That ain't real with it. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, whoa, whoa, and whoa. I said, first of all, that is real. I myself didn't know how real it was, but I wasn't put off from the first frame of the Asian family being seen in the movie, because I know about how in this country people were brought over in different phases of the development of various industries, especially that railroad system that dominated everything for trade back then. And they were brought in Asian workers, they brought in people from other places on the planet. There's a lot going on to this. Like I say again, you're basing your reaction of, no, how could that be? I don't think that was accurate. What kind of bull is this? On that 90% of what I just explained about how people, they get used to that 90% pushed ideology that's not true completely. Okay, yeah, 90% of that time, black, white. End of story. Mississippi, black, white. That's a statistical fact you can find. But that don't mean that if you could say 90, then who was the 10 then? Who's the 10? There were Native American groups that were still left, and they showed that in the film. That was one of my only gripes with the movie. I loved Sinners. I thought it was great. But I had my few gripes, and y'all can see my review, and you'll see what I say about that. But I said, why didn't we see the team of, like, they professional? They've been doing this for a minute. They know how to hunt vampires, and they were coming through looking for that dude in the first vision of you seeing the head of the vampire group run on the run from them. And there was the Native American group with their whole crew, man. They had the posse. They on horses. They on the cars. They riding out. Like, where that mofo at? They the Native American Blades. You know what I'm saying? They like Blade. They out there hunting vampires. I was loving it. I said, oh, this is dope. This is dope. But that was just that one scene. They didn't come back. That made me mad. I was like, man, they should have came back. They should have been part of the big fight at the end. That would have been the perfect. Oh, y'all ain't outnumbered. We here. We got you. Let's get them. All right. Anyway, I'm giving away my review now. Go look at I say some other stuff you want to hear. If you want to know about what I thought about Sinners, go check out my folder. Just put in ONYXCON Sinners. It should pop up. That's all you guys say. ONYXCON Sinners. ONYXCON, any topic I ever mention, if I say I had some content, and I found it, I will give the algorithm credit. It tends, my name, my organization's name is so unique. It tends to know, oh, you're talking about ONYXCON. Okay, cool. And all it does then is just use the next word. If it's about fishing, it takes you to that. If it's about my travel, República Dominicana, it's gonna take you to that. If it's about Malaysia, it's gonna take you to that. If it's about Mexico, it's gonna take you to that. You know what I mean? Check me out. Check me out. We got a lot going. I tell you all, y'all, multi-niche over here. We do the real deal. Hit that subscribe button if you ain't done that by now. What's wrong with you? You know you loving it. If you done made it this far, you gotta be part of the monetization nation. You gotta get the perks of that, love. Come on, hit that button, y'all, and keep watching. But so, yeah, that was my only issue. So when they came for that part, I had to explain to them. I said, no, I went in research because I knew that it was possible. But not only is it possible, it was an absolute fact that that was some of the only places blacks could shop in some Mississippi post-slavery, but into Jim Crow slavery times. They wouldn't. That was it. That was your options. Like there would be a white shop. The store wouldn't even let you in the door. You know. But if you wanted to shop, you had to deal with the Asians, and the Asians had generally respect and sometimes, really big rapport in the community. It was just what you saw in the film. Like, that's the homie. I'm gonna go see Mr. So-and-so. He got that, and they treat you right because they know, it wasn't the. From what I read, and this is historians giving evidence, it wasn't. I'm not saying that that's impossible here, because there was probably that one shop like, we don't want you either, and they were Asian, but they were generally open to blacks because that was their main clientele, because the whites wouldn't even shop with them as much. They could or would if they want, but they mainly only dealt with the black folk. Hello? So it made sense, y'all. It made sense. And it's just sad a lot of people don't know history, so you see something in a movie that makes you realize, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, look it up before you think, oh, this is ridiculous. It's a fantasy movie, but it's based on period piece time. Look it up. Yeah, y'all. So yeah, that's just, so that's one example, y'all. That's just one example of how, sometimes, and it was completely innocent with my friend. I appreciate that they heard me out, They didn't just think that they were automatically right. Like, once I gave them what I knew about it, they just humbled themselves, got quiet, and heard the knowledge, took the information. Like, yo, here's a little seed. We ain't gonna waste too much time on it. If you really care about it, you'll go look it up on your own time and find out what I was talking about, So that's that. But that's the kind of stuff that gotta happen more often, and that's the beauty of a film like Sinners is an edutainment-based concept. It really is. It is so edutainment based, and that's why I loved it so much. It's like, it's not just entertainment. It's not just gore and sex and all the stuff that happens in the movie between the characters. Yeah, that's life. So even that's not trivial. You know what I mean? The reactions, the interactions, the racial scenarios, the historical elements of everything, the sexual tension and sexual acts. This is life, people. That's beautiful. Yeah. And I was happy to see, somebody can take offense if you want. I don't care. I'm gonna say what I got to say, man. I noticed there were some people in the movie you could have said, maybe there you go, if you just gotta feel like there's some man wearing a woman's makeup or something to imply the representation of all the orientations. See, makeup, a dress, jewelry, that don't define your damn orientation. Let me say that again for the people in the back. I don't give a damn what you wear. I don't give a damn what you do with your hair. I don't give a damn what you do with your nails and all that old stuff. It's just that, it's stuff. When it gets down to who you are, really who you are, how you really think, what your ethics are, what your values are, how you treat people, how you want to be treated, that's all it is. No matter what your orientation is. So this is why, other thing I liked about Sinners, and I think there's a reason why some people had a problem with it, because in this day and age where they've been pushing, some people have been pushing, not everybody, some people have been pushing an agenda for anytime there's adult scenarios and people in a movie where there will be sexual interactions, well, somebody's got to be the gay characters, right? We got to have a token. No, you don't. You don't. And they showed something that has not been seen on film in a long time. Two things that haven't been seen on film in a long time, quite frankly. Depicted the way they were depicted, with some actual passion in it. Some people say, oh man, that's just effing. What, just because they know how to put their back into it, that's it, that's the limit on that? See, y'all, again, narrow-minded, but we ain't here to talk about the intricacies of sex right now. Y'all show can't handle that conversation until y'all show me that y'all mature enough and we can go there. Because we go deep here at ONYXCON. We don't play. We don't play. But if you look at the two main sex scenes, those who ain't spoilerish, but not a spoiler, okay? You can still, hell, I don't think there's ever been anything that's been said about a sex scene in the movie that kept somebody from going to see the movie if they wanted to see that. Because people love to like watching folk getting it in. So, whatever. The two twin characters that Michael B. Jordan played, one of the twins, which he played them so brilliantly because you literally do look at them as two separate men. One of them was in love with and went back to his love when he got back in town, because if you know the plot, you know what I'm saying. And she's a big girl, black woman, beautiful skin, pretty face, thick, big bone girl, you know what I mean? But she's a very pretty actress. And I say but because honestly, big to that big is not my type. So if anybody, why you say but? There ain't no but, she just pretty. She is pretty. But I'm speaking from my perspective on a gentleman who has dated some big girls, had a lot of joyful fun and wonderful memories, but they're just not my preference. So I'm not gonna say she wasn't beautiful, but I'm just saying not my preference. I go from petite to curvy. I'm talking about a little tiny little thing to curvy. And what I call curvy, if you need an example, SZA. What's up, SZA? I always use SZA as an example. If I ever meet SZA, I gotta tell her, girl, do you understand you are my archetype of what curvy should look like? And I bet she would love that and fall out laughing. But no, for real though. You know what I'm saying? And then an example of petite would be like, I don't know, what's the girl name, the singer, Jenny Aiko? Yeah, that would be that kind of petite I like. From there all the way to like SZA size, love it. Anything in between, you know what I'm saying? You can be a little thick and everything, just, you know, and I don't like them too tall either. But bottom line is, they got it in this really hot sex scene, okay? The one twin character, but it was a build up to it, so by the time the moment happens, you appreciate the bond they have, and it's beautiful to you if you're any kind of person that knows what love feels like, not just looks like, acts like, tastes like, everything. Like, there was nothing strange. It's all beautiful. It's like right on to the right on. That's about where that need to be right now. Because, man, they've been apart for how long? And that was his only, he was in love with that woman and she was in love with him. Obviously, that thing is real, baby. That's that good. You know? Then you have the mixed, revealed to be mixed, but in the constructs, because that's what race is, the white girl, so to speak, on the show, who is absolutely fine as hell, sexy as I don't know what. I loved her character, and I think she's beautiful. And yes, she fits into my types. You obviously can tell the difference in how I'm talking. I didn't take any points away. I just said, if she had been as big as the sister, I still would have said what I had to say about size, but I still would have also said she's beautiful in the face, because the face, whether it gets big or small, the lady was pretty. She fine. And he had his get it in scene with her. Now, that's already taboo, even in 2025, with all the racial tensions in this country and shit. But after all the progress we done damn made, I was thinking to myself, laughing. I said, I mean, it's happened on plenty of shows. It's happened in a few enough movies, but mostly just a little kiss or a little rubber dub and keep it moving. It has been a long time, at least it seemed to me, since I've seen a black man and a black woman get it in, or imply, because of course it's implied, it ain't real sex, but implied to get it in a scene in a movie. And I was like, right on to the right on. Why not? Hey, these characters deserve each other. That's beautiful. I endorse this message. I hope it gives Dr. Umar a heart attack. No, I don't want you to have a heart attack, brother. You do get on my nerves with your bullshit, but I wish Umar well, seriously. No, all jokes aside, I bring up Umar as a joke because I think his whole anti any other woman than what he perceives as the construct of black is total. Because first of all, if you're so anti-white supremacy, then you can't be with anything that goes along with that, which is constructs. These constructs were created by that. The whole, oh, that's black and that's not, or oh, that's white and that's not. And that's the other thing I loved about the movie in Sinners. The woman says, And and she said, the actress came out and said in real life that she knows she's mixed, the way her character is mixed. I said, salute, salute. But people would look at her, because she's that 10%, she ain't that 90, and be like, but they would assume she's the 90, she just white. She said, no, I'm the 10%, I'm actually mixed, and I got this. Oh, damn, why you want to be something you ain't? You ain't. No, she is. And you can't tell her what her freaking family is. People trying to do that, they was mad. Like, oh, damn, white girl trying to get more about me. And hey, if she gave him a chance, they already willing. What the hell are you talking about? If you like it, if you like what I know, I saw her fine self shit. Anyway, y'all about as goofy out here. So, you know, it's on and on and on with the dumbass, man. It's on and on and on with it. But ultimately, my point is, don't let the agendas literally manifest. Know when there is a thing at play. Accept that there can be a thing at play. Sometimes it's not. Like I say, sometimes it's subtle and it's not even intentional in a blatant way, but it's still there. You know, it's too many departments involved in a film, and what they get seen it on set. Well, let's change this. Let's have them say that. Let's do that. That's not even in the script. I don't know where I want it. Who said it? Oh, it was the executive producer. All right, I guess we're changing it. That's it. Was it the AD or the director? The director said, okay, that's what we're doing. It's weird, man. It does. It just gets weird. Sometimes depending on who's in the room and what they want to see and all of that. But if you can respect the process for being just that and know that every artist has intent, what some people gonna call an agenda. Okay, call it an agenda. But what kind of agenda is it? Is it progressive or is it ass backwards and gonna lead us to more dysfunction? And I just feel like some things should not be marketed. If you're gonna, you know, you're gonna be selling the toy and shirt based on the TV show, well, the kid wants to know where the source is. You can't just buy a kid a Ironheart shirt with the actress on it, not just the cartoon version. Now, if it's the cartoon version, they might not ask a question. But they see that fleshed out black woman, they can say, what's this from? What show is this? They want to see it. And I personally wouldn't want my niece and nephew at the age they are watching the Bandit Crew on that show and asking me, well, why does that man have nails like mommy? And why does he have on more lipstick and stuff than mommy? And why is that other one, that one woman, acting like a boy, or what I think is a boy, and one of the, you know, and all of that? They shouldn't even have to ask them goddamn questions. That's just my thoughts. You know? Because I feel like it ain't gonna be that way, but I still feel that way. We need restrictions on who can see or who is intended to see what. You can do what you want in your household. If you're a parent and hopefully you're intelligent and responsible enough that if you allow your kids to see something that's made for adults, well, hell, you're explaining what the hell they looking at instead of just leave them in the room by themselves looking at it and leave them to their own very shallow developed brains to figure out what the hell they just saw and how they should imply or apply the lessons, the whatever out of that presentation. It's not for kids. If there's a kid version, that's what that's for. And everybody up from there. If I'm an adult and I like the kids, hey, shit is for from age 1 and up. But that's the thing. Whatever age you start, up should be the limit. If it's 13, damn it, look, you 12, sit your ass down somewhere. You 8, you shouldn't even be looking at this yet. I ain't trying to have to explain this to you. I shouldn't have to. And you shouldn't be getting advertising when you're looking at, you say you give me a section of the damn app or whatever, if it's just for kids. Well, why am I seeing ads for this show that ain't for kids? That's why I tell y'all all the time over here. I know, and I don't like it, because I can't see who all my I wish that this freaking thing here, much as I'm happy to be here and want to make what I'm here to make off of it, and leave my imprint on the world through it. One of many ways I'm doing that with ONYXCON. Okay? for the love of the arts and for all this edutainment we share. I hate that on YouTube, you don't have to use your face in your avatar or somewhere. I can understand if you just want to be creative, man. I want to use Scooby-Doo. Okay, but there should be somewhere somebody could be able to see who owns this channel, who owns this account. Because, you know, some people don't even really have a channel. They just on here to look. And that's another thing needs to change. You should literally there should be a break between YouTube. Are you listening? Because this could help y'all grow up. You need to freaking grow up. Everybody got to grow up. We all growing up together. So you always asking me, and then y'all hitting me with this little lame ass survey. I fill the shit out and y'all don't change a damn thing. So maybe you'll listen if I say something about you and the algorithm say, he's talking about it. Yeah, I'm talking about your punk ass. Listen and do it. Don't just listen and be like, oh man, let's keep him from getting monetized longer because he's always speaking his mind. You say I'm supposed to have freedom of speech. Well, damn it, I'm using it. I'm saying, do not have it where a person, as soon as they start an account, it's just like anybody else who actually runs a channel and is actually producing content. From the day one somebody starts a YouTube account, do you want a viewer account only where all you can do is view? You can't even post. You can comment and you can look. That's all you can damn do. You don't have a channel, but you do have a profile that can be seen. So if you start talking shit in comments and being inappropriate, people can see your goofy ass. I bet that would kill all the trolls. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, y'all. So bottom line, y'all, everybody got choices out here, you feel me? Be more considerate of youth, and I want adults to be, you know, creating safeguards, because like I say, you shouldn't even have it where a person could just be on YouTube unsupervised, and a lot of kids are. I'll never forget one of my lives, somebody started chatting it up with me and stuff, and I never know who I'm talking to, so I'm being very, you know, reserved in everything I got to say. And then I found out that it's like a little kid, and I told her, I said, get off of here. This is not for you. This is, do your parents know you on here? And they said, yeah. But how do I know if that's true? I was like, that's just not cool, man. That is not cool. Like, be respectful and understand everything ain't for you just because you can figure out how to get your access to it. You know, I don't want to have to think about kids when I'm talking. That's why I don't want to cuss and say what I want to say when I'm live or whatever. And I even hold off on a lot of that. First of all, because I don't have to use cuss words every other word to express myself, because I'm more intelligent than that. But also because you can get that anywhere. Now, that be the part that makes me feel a little bit good about the fact that since I can't control who's looking, maybe they need to see a grown-ass man be a grown man. Because there's so many of these kids ain't being raised by no real grown men. So for that part of it, I'm cool with it, but for the record, my content here is not for children. It's for, you know, I mean, it can be for teens and up, but it's really, quite frankly, 21 and up content over here. Now, if you choose, I do stuff that's definitely cute, that would appeal to a child, and I show, you know, my niece and nephew my little animal videos and cute moments of toys and stuff, you know, because toys at the end of the day are still first made for, well, certain toys are made for kids, you understand? And that's what that is, fine, cool. But I'm the adult who collects toys and stuff. I haven't collected in a long time, but I still like the shit, so I'll show it. And that's and as simple as that. It's like, yo, check this cool item out. That's what we do when we do them flip throughs, you know? But I don't expect everybody in here to be mature enough to understand what's for them and what's not for them. So I'm just saying it for the record. You know, I'm not promoting young folks being around when I start talking grown folk talk. Like, I come from the old school where when grown folks are talking, you shouldn't even be in the room. And you damn sure need to be seen but not heard if you are in the vicinity. You know, it's that kind of culture. And that's what we're going to stick to because it worked. It raised real men and real women. Peace, y'all.